Thanks, Don. You said it exactly right. It's just like a heavyweight matchup, almost like Joe Frazier versus Muhammad Ali between these two AAA foes. Paris is set to host the 2024 Summer Olympic Games, but the path to get there could start here at Milan Park for one Olympic sport. You can tell this is football weather right here. Week 1 football weather. It's raining, it's storming, and it's all for a big rivalry matchup here as coaches from Grafton consider this like Pitt in West Virginia. The first year that all 3 Marion County teams made the playoffs, and we have another Marion County team playing here tonight.
They're chomping at the bit and ready to go.
And what's that atmosphere that you're expecting to be here tonight at Tiger Field? Tubing for 12 News, I'm Riley Holsinger. Watching the Pittsburgh Steelers play on Sundays was a staple in Jeff Hostetler's family for him and his 6 other siblings growing up.
After their games, we would go outside and play football, you know, and act like Terry Bradshaw or Franco Harris. And the Steelers were always a big part of our family, and obviously Franco was a huge part of the Steelers.
Jeff Hostetler was an 11-year-old kid from right in the heart of Steelers country in Holsopple, Pennsylvania, as Franco Harris pulled off the Immaculate Reception. A play that has left a lasting impact on him and his siblings, and even one that they tried to recreate.
I'm sure we tried. I don't think we had any luck.
While many people will remember Harris for the Immaculate Reception, Hostetler will remember him for being immaculate in another way.
He was a guy that you'd bring home and your family would just say, wow, what an amazing young man. And you know, he held on to that and was that way throughout his whole life. People came across him and they looked at him as a football player, but were so impressed by him as an individual, as a man, and the character that he had.
While the two share many similarities in their lives and playing careers, they never faced off against one another, but Jeff says he could seemingly feel Franco in Three Rivers Stadium when he played there.
Franco was around an awful lot. The people of Pittsburgh absolutely loved him, and rightfully so. He just was a great face to put on the Steelers organization and the city of Pittsburgh.
A true Hall of Famer all around.
It's really who he was.
One Morgantown man is considered to be the best in the United States at his respective sport, but he's still climbing to be one of the best in the world. Dan Kepke has been ice climbing for around 10 years and has already been reaching the top of some major accolades.
The more I started doing it, the more I fell in love with it.
Dan has been selected to the USA climbing team since 2020, and he's been reaching the finals and placing high in elite competitions. However, the real awards to Dan are sharing lessons and helping others with their mountain-sized dreams.
I really do get a lot of joy from helping other people achieve their dreams.
He went to University High School and has spent a lot of time in the area, which may lead you to ask, how does one person from our area get into this kind of sport? His father.
He had a position in Seattle, and when we were there, he climbed Mount Rainier. And so I always had this like ambition and this, you know, this role model in terms of mountaineering.
He is currently overseas in the middle of competing in the 2023 UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup and is ranked first in the United States, proving that anyone can climb to the top of their hopes and dreams.
It means that this goal, which in certain ways was almost not even realistic or not, you know, an impossibility. I wasn't even sure I'd ever be #1 even for like a day, right? It really motivates me to take that objective more seriously, both in terms of this season as well as the future.
There's no doubt that Morgantown's Irene Riggs is the best cross-country runner in the area, state, and country. But earlier this morning, Riggs tried to prove that she's among some of the best in the entire world. Riggs earned the right to run today in the U20 World Cross Country Championships in Bathurst, Australia, as a result of her finishing first in the U.S. Championships. The reigning Gatorade National Runner of the Year battled it out with 49 other top female competitors from around the world, and she dominated. Riggs finished 12th at the championships with a final time of 22 minutes and 3 seconds. Not only did she see individual success, but she helped lead the United States to a bronze medal finish, which just so happens to be the first time the United States ever finished with a team medal in the event. Irene isn't the only Riggs sibling that had success this weekend, though, as her twin sister Caroline dominated over the past few days at the state swim meet at Milan Park. Caroline snapped her own state record in the girls' 200-yard breaststroke en route to a state championship in the event. She didn't stop at breaking her own records, though. The state's 100-yard breaststroke record and first-place plaque now belongs to Caroline as well. Riggs was also a part of the Mohegans' 400-yard free relay team that became state champions. Let's jump right into the action. And speaking of jumping, Seth Youngkin, he's dunking here. And then here we have Steve Kennedy. Passes over to Christian Montague. He banks in a three. He led West Liberty with 30 points. The Hilltoppers were solid beyond the arc as Bryce Butler drains a three here. He had 27. Now Kennedy wraps around the back here, cuts to the hoop for two. Black and gold have a 3-point lead, and Butler drives in, and Chaz Hines finishes the job. That ties it up at 22-22, but you can't spell West Liberty without Alec West. It was a very busy weekend full of wrestling for a few teams in our area that attended the 69th annual Ron Mock OVAC Wrestling Championships, but no local teams had as much success as University. The Hawks placed second out of 40 teams, and let's head out to the 175-pound championship bout to see University's Luca Felix versus Cameron's Adam Angel. Felix, trying to get the takedown here on the edge, drops to the ankles and is able to stay in bounds here to pick up two. Now Felix is on the attack again, takes a shot, but you're going to see him go for a reshot here in that far side ankle pick to pick up another takedown and the championship as he wins 4-2. Robert C. Bird kept the momentum going in the second half as Thomason is able to poke the ball loose here for Charles Hawkins to take it coast to coast to make it a two-possession game. But basketball is a game of runs, though, as Noah Sears makes it a 2-point game here, which then leads to Maddox Pirine to get the go-ahead tray to fall. Lincoln kept on the attack and was able to go on an 11-point run to start the quarter, which gave the Cougars a 46-40 lead at one point. Robert C. Bird went on nearly a 3-minute scoring drought early in the fourth quarter until Hawkins scored that two right there. But ultimately, the Eagles couldn't make a comeback happen as Lincoln goes on to win 54-50.
We brought you the news yesterday that the Morgantown Ice Arena plans to close in March for repairs and renovations that have been discussed since 2017. Well, today, Riley Holsinger shows us the reactions from parents and players that will be losing the only ice rink in the area.
It was very shocking.
Well, honestly, I felt pretty gutted.
Getting this news the way that we did was absolutely devastating to all of us. And as you can see from the turnout, it really affects our entire hockey community.
Shock, gutted, devastation. All emotions felt by the hockey community in Morgantown regarding the temporary closure of the Morgantown Ice Arena. Members from the Morgantown Hockey Association say they were told last Thursday on a conference call that they would only lose half of a season. That has since changed over the past week due to a statement from Bow Park. Players, parents, and others have all voiced out their opinion to the city council, commissioners, as well as in a gathering in front of the courthouse.
We're also very disappointed that we've gotten to this point where all of our kids have to be out here in the rain, basically picketing to save not only a hockey season, but hockey generation in Morgantown.
A decision that will impact around 250 hockey players from 12 counties and 3 states. It would force families to travel to the Pittsburgh area just to get ice time since there aren't any other local ice rinks in the region. And with the impending closure, it could mark the end of some high schoolers' careers.
It's the last chance I'm going to get to play hockey because after this, I don't know if I'm going to make it to collegiate level. So if I miss my high school season, then my hockey career is pretty much over.
Parents hope that the plans for the project are changed so they can add another ice rink to the community rather than renovate the one that has been in place since 1978. Players have one plea to those that can reverse the decision.
Just please keep it open. You know, it's going to kill out a lot of dreams for a lot of kids, especially coming from somebody who was that kid 10 years ago. So please keep it open.